A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. Here we are with preparation for our paper 1 for 2023 cycle, that is June 2023. And yes, as you all know that we have already completed the first unit, that is teaching aptitude. All 10 lectures, link is given in the description box. Notes, already those who are there in the WhatsApp group, the notes are forwarded. From today onwards, we are going to start with a new topic that is called as research aptitude. Now, for today's session, we will be taking the topics such as subtopics such as characteristics, positivism, and post-positivistic approach to research. Now, before we go ahead, quickly let's understand what does Global Online has for you all as a part of revision course for your upcoming examination June 2023 cycle. So, now why it is a crash course? Because we have a limited span of time. You have only exactly 2 months in your hands. In order to prepare yourself for that within this 2 months, we have came up with this crash course. The highlights of the crash course are daily lectures, which are live lectures in Hindi and English. So Hindi lectures are at evening 5 p.m. English lectures are at morning 10 a.m. You will get full syllabus notes in the PDF format, 60 plus mock tests, 2000 plus practice questions, which is at a fee cost of rupees only 2,400. Now, why 2,400? Because we have kept a 40% off. So actual price of this course is 4,000, but after the discount, you will be getting it for 2,400. You can also go and check on our Global Online app, where we have demo sessions, where we have all the sessions, with respect to all the topics scheduled. If you want to join us our course, or if you want to have any inquiry or anything else, you can get in touch with us on this given WhatsApp number, which is reflected on the screen. Now, let's start the session for the day. So first thing which we are going to start is our research aptitude syllabus. So obviously let's understand the bit of the syllabus and let's go ahead. So the syllabus are having certain sub-points such as research. Then you have certain points such as called as methods of research, steps of research, thesis, and application of ICT. Now, let me tell you one thing, that as you all know, the way we did in teaching aptitude, the way we did in, we will be doing it in the, just a minute. Yes. So we will be doing our topic of research aptitude completely as per the syllabus wise, and then we will see all the extra topics or extra things which we have even done in the teaching aptitude. So don't worry, if anything extra will be definitely captured here. Okay, today now let's start with our presentation for today. So before going ahead, let's understand what is research. So basically, research is nothing but a careful study, a detailed study, which is related to a specific problem. Now see, research indicates, there is something, it can be a form of problem, it can be a form of concern, it can be a form of issue, which is studied in a form of logical and systematic method, where we are, using, where we are making a use of new or useful information, investigation with respect to finding out a solution. Okay, the information might be collected from different sources, or the information might be collected from a research, existing knowledge. So it can be in form of what? It can be in form of logical and systematic presentation, solution to this problem. It can be in the form of experience or human experience from the human beings, or journals, or nature, or books. And it can lead to the contribution of new contribution or to the existing knowledge. So this is, very, very important when we look at a research problem. Going ahead is, yes, we have listed certain characteristics. Now these characteristics, please keep in mind, these characteristics are very important, because based on these characteristics, you have definitely got a lot of questions. There are questions, statement questions, there are, assertion reasoning questions, there are code questions. So you should be able to know these characteristics very well. So we have listed all the characteristics one by one. Let's go to the characteristics. It talks about solution oriented. The research is specifically oriented to the solution. It is something which is logical, it is sequence, systematic. There has to be a purpose, there has to be an objective, or you can say there has to be a purpose. There should be there should be no partiality done towards anything. There obviously we will be studying research ethics also, so we know very well in research falsification, fabrication are not allowed. We will be doing these terms, don't worry. Accuracy, yes, very important. It talks about, in the form of validity, in the form of verifiable, or in the form of accurate. So yes, the research, characteristics, research should be accurate, verifiable and reliable. It should be systematic and empirical, that is dealing with real life events. So an empirical process I have written over here, which involves data collection. The results are based on the observation, that is in the form of real life experiences. Research rejects assumption and dogma as methods of knowledge. It only accepts the observation which are verified. So many times now, anyways, when we are going to do MCQ questions, that time you will understand in MCQ questions that these MCQ questions are based on what? Based on this theory topics only. So like for example, you will get a statement question that research is based on, is based on assumptions. Whether the statement or the is right, wrong, you have to come up with, the explanation, or maybe it is correct, or in the form of reason and assertion. So definitely research rejects assumption or dogma, and it is, it is basically considering only those things or those facts which are verified with the help of various observations. Now coming, I have also, some extra points I have added in this. Again, I have created a list of research characteristics which should be very well planned in advance, which should have a systematic approach. Obviously, it should have a collection of empirical data. It is something which is objective, which is accurate in nature, which is an in-depth analysis. Now, when we say in-depth analysis, now this in-depth analysis, it means a detailed study, in-depth study, which should be logical, yes, it should be reliable, with consistency, valid, which is very factual, controllable, verifiable, relevant, generalized and ethical. So as I said, these are the terms which you should be aware of, because questions can definitely be based on such statements, and you should be knowing, okay, reliability, yes, it is one of the feature of research. Validity is one of the feature of research. Verifiability is one of the feature of research. Relevance, yes, okay. Generalization, coming to a statement, yes. So these are all points which we find in the research characteristics. As I said, when we are taking up MCQs, that time also we will be linking up with the topics, but right now you should know the concepts very well before we take the MCQs. Is it clear? Okay. Now, objectives of research. So what is basically the aim, the purpose of research? So research leads to what? So research leads to discovering of new facts. Okay, it leads to discover the facts. It is something which has to be verified and tested. Now please try to understand, as we already studied, it rejects assumption. So you cannot give a statement based on assumptions. Now, like for example, if you remember, one concept we have in research is called as hypothesis. Now even hypothesis, if you see, hypothesis is also something, it's a tentative statement. Now that tentative statement is not an assumption. Okay, we prove that statement. So basis on its proof, I mean to say basis on its way it is proved, or way it is analyzed, we know that okay, which statement can be accepted, which can be rejected. So yes, that's what we are doing. We are testing the statement also, the tentative statement. It is something which analyzes the process or phenomena in order to understand or identify the cost and effect relationship. It develops new tools, concepts and theories. Yes, it helps to solve and understand scientific and non-scientific problems. It also not only understand the problem, but also finds the solution, and it overcomes the problem. Now please keep this one thing in mind when you are studying or you are answering any concept related to research. Remember one thing, that in research, when we are talking about research, research highlights the problem. Yes, it talks about the problem, but at the same time the problem should not be left, okay, as it is. The problem should have a solution. It is bound to find a solution to the problem. Now the solution, which is based on a lot of process, you know, which is steps of research, but you can't say that, okay, it cannot be 50-50, yes it is, you know, possible, not possible, no, maybe or not maybe. You need to come to an accuracy, okay, saying that, okay, this is the problem and this is 100% the solution for the problem. Obviously you have to prove that, test that, verify that, and then only you can give that accuracy. So you need to validate that. So all this, you know, is the process in which your research problem is analyzed. Okay, now going ahead, we have the very important topic where a lot of students get, you know, confused with, okay, or many times any type of question students are not able to answer. So we are talking about what? We are talking about positivism and post-positivism. So when I say positivism, it is something which believes in reality, something which is, you know, measured, something which you can quantify, but basis on what? Basis on its reality. So you can even measure, you can quantify based on the reality concept. Positivism, it talks about, you know, something which is true, something which is objective, and it can be studied through applying the methods and various principles. So you need to have, or you need to know certain principles, methods for positivism approach. So positivism approach is basically it can be measured and it can be quantified, or it is talking about what? It is talking about reality. It denies intuition, as I said, it rejects assumptions, and it is only concerned with what? It is only concerned with objectivity. Objectivity is the only concern area. You can also say that it is, you know, based on scientific study. It indicates what? It indicates a scientific study. Post-positivism, when we come to post-positivism, now post-positivism talks about what? Creation of new knowledge. Now when I'm saying new knowledge, it means, you know, it is supported, it is committed with the basis of what? It is basis of hypothesis, with the basis of theories, with the basis of values of the researcher. So here we are talking about what? We are talking basically about your way the research is, you know, taken care of. So I can say that this is basically something which is qualitative. It talks about, you know, it talks about qualification. It's something which is qualitative. And yes, it is concerned with subjectivity, it's concerned with based on experiences. In detail, see, today I am just introducing this topic, positivism and post-positivism. I am going to consider all the various type of questions which have appeared in previous year question papers, and based on that I'll help you to make your topic a little bit stronger. So at least as a first time reader, just try to understand that positivism is something which can be quantified, post-positivism, which it's something which can be qualified. It's based on qualitative analysis. Positivism talks about true objectivity and reality, whereas on the other hand, your post-positivism is when something which is based on theories, hypotheses and values. Positivism is something which denies, you know, the intuition and concerns with objectivity. Post-positivism is something which is concerned with subjectivity. Yes, positivism involves your scientific study and your post-positivism is based on experience. Okay, just try to analyze, don't learn it, don't, you know, wrote the topics. We will be doing this topic we will be doing this topic again with certain questions also, so that time I'll make it more perfect. So now whatever you can, okay, at least just remember about quantification, that is quantitative, qualitative, based on what? Subjectivity, objectivity, only these important points please try to keep in mind. Okay, now let's come to objectives. Now if you remember, we have done objectives over here, but maybe that's the reason I've brought it. You know, your objectives can be in different form: theoretical objectives, factual objectives, applied objectives. So when I'm saying theoretical objectives, it talks about theories, that is formulation of theories, basic knowledge, okay, difference between the variables, or use of fundamental research. So see, new theories, basic knowledge, use of fundamental research, these all are a part of what? These all are a part of your theoretical objectives. Okay, Factual objectives is something finding the facts, okay, which is used in history or exploratory research. When we talk about applied objectives, it is talking about something which is already existing and it use application. So just keep in mind, if the question comes, what are theoretical objectives, what are factual objectives, or what are applied objectives, you should be able to do a proper justification with the question. So if I'm asking theoretical objectives, it is based on what? Generation of theory. If I'm talking about factual objectives, it is based on, facts. If I'm talking about applied objectives, this is something which is based on, application of research. Is it clear? Okay. Now, moving ahead is again an important part of research, that is qualitative and quantitative research. Okay, so we should also equally know what is qualitative research and quantitative research. Now, just now we saw that positivism, okay, comes in what? It is quantifiable, and post-positivistic approach is something which is qualitative. Okay, so let's see. So when I'm saying qualitative, so it indicates involvement of quality. When I say it is quantitative, it involves quantity. Okay. Now, when I talk about qualitative, it is used for qualitative analysis in order to understand a problem which cannot be quantified. So what comes under quality? Something which cannot be quantified comes under what? Comes under the qualitative research. So like for example, the research which is open-ended, the research which is which is inductive in approach, that is, it starts with something very specific and ends up to something very general. So it is something which can be in a form of what? It can be in the form of inductive approach. Quantitative approach is something which indicates close-ended questions. Have deductive approach. It brings into consideration deductive approach, that is general to specific. Now, anyone who is new here, I hope you all know what is open-ended and close-ended questions. Open-ended questions are those questions where the perspective is taken into consideration, where you have a freedom to give your perception or open up with your ideas, suggestions, views according to the question. Close-ended questions is basically those questions which are, you have a what you can say, you have a specific way to answer. You cannot answer the way you want. You are not given any choice. Whatever choice is given, you are supposed to answer the question within that particular concept itself. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. What we are talking about, close-ended question. Lalita, very good morning. Now let's see one example, and based on the example, let's understand. So if I'm talking about qualitative research, so qualitative research is that research, as I said, which qualifies, no? So see over here the example. Study conducted to know why people suffer from mental disorders. So why there is a suffering of mental disorder? Obviously, which affects their personal life, which affects their efficiency, and what people have to face in their life. So when we are talking about all these problems, it is basically studied on what? It is basically with respect to your I'm talking about what? With respect to your analysis, that is called as qualitative. Lalita, this class, no, Hindi class is conducted in evening 5 p.m. Means completely in Hindi, and this class is completely in English. Okay, fine. Hindi class you have on the channel, but that is live class at 5 p.m. evening. Okay, fine. So now quantitative research. So quantitative research basically talks about what? It talks about the same example we will take and see that, like for example, people who are suffering with mental disorder. So in quantitative research, what you will try to understand, the amount of expenditure medically, the location, okay, the number of doctors and nurses available, hospitals available. So we will try to take into consideration all the figures, numbers, in order to solve or make sure that the person is free or person is being treated well. Okay, and then comes qualitative research. It is semi-structured. Okay, it is semi-structured. or it is unstructured. It means what? It is on the spot. It comes, on the spot concept. And quantitative, it is something which is usually structured basis. Is it clear? So this is what it talks about. This is how it tells about your qualitative and quantitative research. Now, in this sense, today I took positivism and post-positivism also. So positivism, which talks about your quantification, post-positivism talks about your qualitative. So if we summarize, okay, if we summarize what we did today, so we started with meaning of research, where we understood what is research very well. We took into consideration the characteristics of research, okay. Again, we listed all the characteristics of research. Objectives. In objectives, we did three types also: theoretical, we did factual objectives, and applied objectives. I hope you know very well. Then positivism and post-positivism we spoke about, and then we came to what? Qualitative and quantitative research. And see, I'm just starting lecture. I'm starting little bit slow, so that once you are little bit settled, from next lecture I can pick up the speed. So tomorrow we will be seeing types of research. That will be the topic which we will be referring. Okay. Now before we end the class for the day today, please try to understand, if any student who is learning for or appearing for paper 1, we also have study material for paper 1 and 2. So paper 1 already we are providing you. Paper 2 also we have study material in the form of MCQ notes and MCQs and notes. The subjects of the paper 2 are reflected on the screen. You can just check whether your subject is available or not. Fees is right now 1280, because we are giving a 20% off. Again, for paper 2 we are giving you the numbers. You can get in touch with these numbers, and you can you can take the course and you can start preparing yourself well. Okay, so yes, thank you everyone. That's all for the day. Tomorrow we will be meeting with a new topic that is called as types of research. Okay, thank you.